Well, do you want to have an opening prayer first? Or?
Yeah. We'll go ahead and open. Go ahead and open. You're still president.
No, go right ahead.
We're going to go ahead and open the meeting, and I'm going to ask Larry to say a prayer before we start.
Lord in heaven, we just thank you for this day. We thank you for your goodness and your watch care. And Lord, we pray as we embark upon this meeting that you just watch over us, that you lead us and guide us and direct what we say and do. We just pray in your name. Amen.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to take roll. Dwight?
Here.
Kermit?
Here.
Larry?
Here.
I'm going to read the minutes from the last meeting. A regular meeting of the Town Council, Duggar, Indiana, Sullivan County was called to order by Dwight Nilsson. Prayer was given by Larry Bedwell. Call was answered by Kermit King, Larry Bedwell, and Dwight Nilsson. Minutes from the November 5th meeting were read, and as there were no objections or correction, a motion was made by King and seconded by Bedwell that the minutes stand. A listing of adjustments made to water bills for the month of November was presented to the council. As there were no disagreements, a motion was made by King and seconded by Bedwell to sign the adjustment docket. All board members signed. Golf cart ordinance number 12-3-2012, an ordinance defining golf cart regulations for the town of Duggar, was presented. And a motion was made, and the ordinance was passed. This ordinance was to be mentioned in the local newspapers, and it will be posted for all to read in the water office. Dr. Luking was here to represent the Humane Society Shelter in Sullivan for the purpose of educating the town and community of the services that the shelter provides, such as spay, neutering, pickup of strays, and adoptions. This shelter requests the continued support from the town, which in the past the town had donated $3,000 to the council assured Dr. Luking that they will consider future donations. Larry Bedwell discussed renegotiating a new maintenance contract with Duke Energy for the lights at the cemetery. The contract was explained and will save money. Upon signing this agreement, our bill for the 12 lights at the cemetery will drop from approximately $288 per month to $90.78 per month. Bedwell made a motion to sign this contract with Duke Energy. King seconded, and Nilsson's vote made the vote unanimous. The contract was signed, and the cemetery lights will continue to be paid from the cemetery fund. Nilsson discussed the council's future intentions to sell the red Chevy truck as the town does not need it. He also discussed the use of Casey's credit cards for gas and the implementation of a gas mileage log for Lonnie, Jean, and Dave. The town council will maintain these records, which will be turned in monthly. Citizen Terry Heaton explained she has been researching who owns the Duggar Senior Citizen Center. According to her findings, she says the town actually does own the building. She explained tax liens against the Duggar Senior Community Club. This issue is being discussed due to a citizen's inquiry about wanting to purchase the building and trying to figure out who actually owns it. Citizen Straley, who is interested in purchasing the building, has gathered bits of information as well and says the town needs a title search, appraisals, and so forth. The town council says when the interested parties have finally gathered all of the information, then for them to come back to them with it for them to review. Council scheduled a meeting to discuss town debt, transfer of funds, and salary ordinance. The meeting was scheduled for December 12th. Nilsson made a motion to pay the claims, and King seconded. The claim docket was signed by all board members. Nilsson made a motion to adjourn, and Bedwell seconded. The motion was passed, and the meeting was adjourned. I just need a motion that the minutes stand.
You'd entertain a motion the minutes be approved as read.
I'll make a motion that the minutes be approved as read.
Second that motion.
I have Springer Insurance here, and we'll go ahead and get her done and out of here, and then Stacy, you could go next and get your part done. If you'd like to go ahead and start.
My name is Danielle Monroe. I am with Springer Insurance. We've presenting the renewal for the insurance tonight. There has not been a whole lot of changes. The total property value we have insured is $2,965,389. That's all property and contents inside. And that is at replacement cost, it's $1,000 deductible. That is a 4% increase that we added for last year just due to inflation. You have earthquake coverage and flood coverage, but otherwise the properties have not changed. I know we've discussed maybe removing one of the buildings. I think I talked to one of you, the Scout building possibly. That's something we can take off. However, this is proposed with that building on there. So if we decide to do something about it, then we can always remove that building. I do have a list of all the properties. Please review those. Let me know. Michelle and I went over them, but just let me know if there's any ones that you have questions about that need added or taken off. We do try to go over that every year, but
Yeah.
as far as the liability and the coverages that follow that, there has not been any changes. We're with the same company we were with last year. The general liability is still the 1 million occurrence, 3 million aggregate. Employee benefits is the same. Same with the law enforcement, 1 million occurrence, 1 million aggregate. We have the coverage of the wrongful acts, which is the board coverage. There's 1 million occurrence, 1 million aggregate. The autos, please review those. Let me know if you guys do consider getting rid of one of the vehicles. We can remove that, but this does have the list of vehicles that we have currently covered. There's a $250 comprehensive and a $500 collision on all the vehicles. We also have the inland marine, which is your equipment, the type of, the mowers and things like that. And I've got a list included there. Again, I know that can change pretty easy throughout the year. So if that needs updated, let me know. But as of right now, we have it the same as last year, and that also has a $1,000 deductible. You have another $1 million umbrella coverage over your underlying exposures, same as last year. The workers' compensation, I went off the payrolls based on last year's audit. This does exclude, and Michelle and I talked, one of the things we could do is that we could include you three as officers. However, when we do that, the state, it requires us to put you guys in at minimum payrolls of $33,800 apiece. So we didn't think that was, we know you don't obviously make that much.
Nope.
So this really covers more of the actual employees. It covers Michelle and then Dave as the police and stuff like that. So that way if they're injured on the job, this will cover them. The payrolls, like I said, are audited. It is based on the last audit that was done. So overall premium went from last year at $11,720. The package now is $12,297. And the work comp is $5,075 total premium.
I had one question on talking about the lawnmowers, talking about the deductible. What if somebody breaks in and steals one of them? Is it 100% covered or?
Yeah, there would be a $1,000 deductible if we didn't. If you were able to figure out who and press charges, then obviously what the company would do is they would make you right, and it's all based on actual cash value. So if what they stole was a 5-year-old mower and it was worth when you bought it $10,000, you may only get $5,000 to $7,000 now actual cash value. You'd be out the first $1,000 deductible, and then they'd make it right. If then we found out who did it and we could press charges and go after them, the company would reimburse themselves and then give you your $1,000 back too, if we were able to figure out who, or recover the mower itself and it not being damaged. But yeah, there still would be that $1,000 deductible on theft. And same with, I know the cemetery was a question. If one of our employees would knock a stone over or damage a stone or something, we would be able to replace that. However, there would be that $1,000 deductible. So in those situations, we need to decide when we turn a claim in and when we don't. So just because of the $1,000 deductible the town has.
Is Duggar Improvement under that insurance?
Which
No.
is,
The housing unit, or
Oh,
do
no.
they pay their insurances separate, right? Vicky pays that?
yeah, that's not got anything to do with
Okay,
it.
I didn't know.
Now the senior living housing, if we are responsible, that is not something that we have. So if
It's not for us anyway.
It's
Okay.
not.
It's not for us at all.
it's not, okay,
No.
if it comes to light that we do
Yeah.
own it. and
It
we
doesn't
do
belong to
the
the town at
coverage,
all.
Okay, okay.
Doesn't.
That would just be
We provide
yeah,
water,
I was
that's
like,
all.
"Ooh, we don't have that covered."
Water and
So,
sewage.
yeah, the ballpark, this area, things like that is what, the town,
Yeah.
what the town owns.
I don't understand, I understand why maybe the firehouse with those big fire trucks in there, it might be $1,000 deductible. But then why do we go to a little bitty building with hardly anything in it? It's still $1,000 deductible.
It's just we have one property deductible across the board. We can't put each building with a different deductible. It's just the total deductible. So, I mean, if we lost the community building, if it burned to the ground, we'd only pay $1,000. And I realize this building wouldn't cost as much as the community, but we can't change, it's all just one property deductible across the board. So, that's just, I mean, it's probably the same way with your homeowners. If you lost your house or your garage, you're still gonna have the same deductible whether you lose your house or your garage. So, most of the property deductibles are one deductible across the board. Any other questions?
No.
So other than reviewing the coverages, reviewing the items, that's something, you know, every year we need to make sure those are still correct. And if we add, I mean, Michelle's pretty good about letting me know if we buy something new or get rid of something.
Well, we're in the plans for one of the vehicles, and we're in the discussions, planning about this building over here that hadn't been used for 7 or 8 years.
Yeah,
And the roof looks like a sway back.
yeah.
So we're kinda in the planning stage about it.
We can always endorse the policy and remove those things
Yeah.
as you make
Okay.
decisions. So yeah, this is just, the renewal came up on the 6th yesterday, so, you know, coverage is
Yeah.
bound,
Oh,
and we
yeah.
just needed to, I just wanted to present it to you and make sure you guys were okay with everything, and let me know if you had any questions.
Fine with it. Fine with it.
Nope.
You look good with that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I think I got everything, we'll get together.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right,
that
thank you
sounds
very
good.
much.
All right, see ya. If you wanna go ahead, Stacy? Sure. Thank you.
Stacy, yeah, give her a report, see how we're doing.
Apologize, I don't have a written report for you
That's
this
all right.
evening. We did have a TSS, total suspended solids exemption in our plant last month because the ice, cold temperatures, some tanks froze up, some solids got where they're not supposed to be. so-
Sure.
But that's correctable. As far as any problems down at the plant, we have blower number 3, we have a low voltage default coming up on it. And that's beyond my guys'
Yeah.
maintenance know-how. So does the board know any electrician that they would allow to come down there and work on it?
Floor number 3, huh?
I don't know even the voltage to tell you what it is down there, but it's on a VFD, and that's what's showing the fault as far as low voltage on it.
Somebody gonna be there tomorrow?
Yeah, someone will be there, not first thing in the morning, probably more about 9 o'clock or so, 9:30.
It'll be after lunch before I'll be able to get there, a bit, other things going on.
Okay, okay.
I'll try to get there tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, well, that'll work. Also, we got approval through Republic Services Sycamore Landfill to have a sludge dumpster brought on site.
Okay.
It was $310 for the fully loaded dumpster. I think that was up to 3 tons.
Oh, yeah.
And then any ton above that was a certain price per ton.
Uh-huh.
I made notes of it, but I forgot my notes again, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So it's not that expensive. It's actually a pretty decent price, I think.
Yeah.
But, you know,
$350?
$310.
$10.
Yeah, for a loaded 20-yard dumpster. I was looking for a place to put that dumpster where other trash wouldn't be able to be put in there.
Yeah.
But the only way I could think of it would be on the west side of the whole blower lab building. Maybe back there towards the generator a little bit, because we still need room on one of those sides for the backhoe to get around to help us
Yeah.
bring
Move
them
'em.
back, yeah.
Yeah, to move them.
So if, if I can get the board's approval, I'll have them deliver that on site and we can start loading up that dumpster. Now, if we do get a 20-yard dumpster, of course, the larger, we probably won't have to have it hauled off site till next fall.
Yeah.
That's how long it'll take to fill it up. So,
Yeah.
We had one dumpster in there already. We haven't done that.
No,
We didn't get it in.
no, I never
Didn't
did.
Get it in yet.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure everyone was on board and knew what the exacts were on it.
Yeah. Well, we need a dumpster. We got how many bags down there now?
Over 200 probably by now, that's for free.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, we try to get our digesters emptied before it starts getting too cold.
Sure.
Because it's harder to waste into them. They freeze up, lines freeze up.
And this dumpster will handle all those.
Yes,
Yeah. Let's get it in.
okay,
Let's get it in. We
I'll
need
have them
to,
deliver
we
it.
need to get that delivered and get those things removed from there.
okay.
What she's talking about is the sludge at the sewer plant. They got so many bags they change out each day. When they take them off, they let them sit up and they dry, and then when they dry out, they put them in the dumpster. You gotta get rid of, you can't just throw it to your local landfill. That's what she's talking about. That's the reason we gotta get a dumpster to put it in. I don't know where they put it.
Well, they take it to the landfill, but you have to have a special waste manifest to go with
Yeah.
it, since it's
Yeah.
human
In other
sludge.
words, we can't just throw that in a regular dumpster. It's gotta be put in a legal container.
Yeah.
They take
legally.
it to Terre Haute, not Sullivan County.
They take it up to Sycamore Ridge landfill up there near Pimento, I believe.
Pimento?
Yep.
Yeah, it's in legal container.
Okay. And we're looking probably, what, $310 a year? Or twice that, probably,
I'd say we'll probably get a few more tons than just the.
Yeah, sure.
So
That's
I
still
would-
reasonable.
Yeah, I think
That's
it's
still
very
real reasonable.
Mhm.
So, let's go ahead and get it done, and we can start loading,
Okay,
if they ain't already froze down.
yeah.
There's a lot in the building to move out.
Yeah, but
So-
it's supposed to get warm this weekend.
Yeah, it's
so-
supposed to be getting warm, so it'll help us get it moved.
Make a motion for that, if we get it done.
Sure, let's make a motion for that. I'll make a motion, that we allow them to order a dumpster for $310 there, and have it placed down at the sewage treatment plant to haul away those bags.
I'd say that motion.
All in favor? Carried, Michelle.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Let's do that and get her done.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, I have an ordinance here that I'd like to present. It's ordinance number 1-7-2013. It's an ordinance defining the presiding officer. Be it ordained by the Town Council of Duggar, Indiana as follows, as per IC Code 36-5-2-7, which states the council must elect one member to serve as president. The council chooses from its members a president who conducts the meetings, performs various other specified executive functions, and is designated as the town executive. The president's term is fixed by the members but cannot exceed the term of office for the council member. So I just need a motion from,
Need to put-
I'm gonna kind of explain a little bit more of what that
yeah,
says.
1 year.
In the regulations, it says if there's a three-board member, a council, that each member can serve at least 1 year. My year is up. And so I have elected that we should elect one of these other two men to be the chairman for the next year. And then when he's done, it'll be the other one's turn. And we think that's a good policy, rather than one man sitting there the whole time. And so with that, my term being up, I'd like to nominate Kermit King to be the town board president for 2013. And I'd like to make a motion to do so.
Second that motion.
What if I decline?
Tough.
Vote.
In this ordinance, it does specify on here that it is for, from January, the first town board meeting
Yes.
in January 2013 until the 2014, the first town board meeting in
Yes,
January of
yes.
2014. So we do have a year put on here.
Yes.
You're not gonna get stuck doing it long. So I just need signatures there. And while they are doing that, then I've got another thing here, which is the leak adjustments, if you guys want to go through those and make sure that those are okay.
Yeah, everybody look at those. Huh? I don't know.
And then I've got two more ordinances here. I'm going to go ahead and start with my second one here. Ordinance number 1-7-2013-C. It's an ordinance partially amending ordinance number 9-2010, which is the personnel policy regarding vacation time benefits. Be it ordained by the Town Council of the Town of Duggar, Indiana, that this ordinance will amend all other ordinances regarding vacation time, and that from and after the passing of this ordinance and the effective date thereof, that after 1 year of full-time employment, you will be entitled to 1 week or 5 days of vacation. After 2 years of employment, you will be entitled to 2 weeks or 10 days of vacation. After 12 years of employment, you will be entitled to 3 weeks or 15 days of vacation. That's all what we've had in the past. This is the change. Employees will no longer be paid for unused vacation time at the end of the year. Vacation earned must be used by year end and may not be rolled over to the following year. Whenever an employee quits his or her employment with the Town of Duggar, that employee shall be entitled to be paid for any unused vacation pay at the employee's regular rate of pay. And so I just need a motion to pass that ordinance.
Make a motion we adopt ordinance 1-7-2013-C.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor? Carried.
How many employees are eligible for vacation time?
Right now, it is Dave and Lonnie and Jean.
Because your salary.
Yes.
Okay, I have another one. This one is ordinance number 1-7-2013B, an ordinance to amend ordinance number 8-1-2012-C. That ordinance was in regard to the withdrawal of the town of Duggar and its employees who were part of a political subdivision from the PERF retirement program as per code 5-10.3-6-8. It is the town of Duggar's intent as a political subdivision to rescind our previous ordinance to cease participation with PERF. The town council for the town of Duggar reserves the right to cancel ordinance number 8-1-2012-C. It is the request of the town of Duggar that the withdrawal that became effective on Monday, September 17th, 2012 be rescinded. It is our wish for the employees to remain, for the following employees to remain enrolled in PERF: Carolyn S. Pirtle, Michelle Riggleman, Lonnie Boyd, David Heaton, Jean Talpas. The town of Duggar's PERF number is on here. Whereas the town council for the town of Duggar will continue PERF and will catch up any required payroll reporting and make necessary payments to get the town current on payments that are due or past due. Whereas the town council for the town of Duggar wishes to remain a member of the Indiana Public Retirement System. Be it known that effective upon the passing of this ordinance, the town council for the town of Duggar will no longer grant any new employees the privilege of the Indiana Public Retirement System, also known as PERF. Whereas no future newly hired employees for the town of Duggar will be eligible to receive PERF benefits from employment with the town. Now therefore be it resolved by the town of Duggar that the changes listed above will take effect upon the passing of this ordinance. And I just need a motion to pass this ordinance.
While we're going to be signing that, we sat down and talked about this, the cost of dropping Plum out as opposed to staying in. Yes, we could drop Plum out, and we did. But there were some signatures that had to be done to make it finalized. And when we looked at the whole picture at the end, we felt it was beneficial to us and the town to not sign it completely dropping out and to get back in it. And to bring it back online, but just stop any new hires from now on coming into the system. We can handle what we've got. Remember, PERF is long-term. It's not a short-term thing for the town. So we think with what we're taking in, that we can pay it. Remember when we first took away with this thing, all things can change. We said that. There's some things we can put back, some things we can't. This we can put back. And we think it's a good, beneficial for the whole town. People working here, and they're earning the right, and so we want to continue that. We just don't feel like we can continue with any new hires that come in and just starting into it again. That creates a whole lot more down the road for somebody else to be dealing with. So the thing to do is not let that happen under this watch. Maybe 3 years from now, 4 years, another board will want to do it. That'll be their business. Right now, we stop. The buck's going to stop here with what we have, and we think we can live with that. So we're going to hopefully we'll stay with that, the whole part of it. So we're happy to have done it. I did talk to Jean and Lonnie the other day and told them we were going to reinstitute it, so they were aware of it. I mentioned it to them. I said, we're still working on it. We haven't got all the paperwork done, but it's coming. It's coming back. So
I've been working with PERF
Yes.
about this. I talked to
I
them
need to
on
sign that yet?
Friday for about 4 hours.
Motion,
He needs to
yes.
sign it.
Oh, yeah.
Need a motion to adopt.
Yes, I
Yes.
did. Yes, go ahead. You go ahead.
I make a motion to adopt ordinance number 1-7-2013-B.
which is reinstituting the program.
Yes.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Yes.
Carried.
Okay, wonderful.
Anyhow, I had been speaking with them different times, and on Friday, I sat on the phone with them for 4 hours, and we had a session to get things figured out, what we need to do to get back into the program, and we're supposed to be working this week. It's probably gonna take us more than just this week. It's gonna take several hours with them. They're going to actually work with me on the phone because they've got a new system since we dropped out of PERF. They've started a new computer system, which I'm not familiar with. Everybody had to be trained for this new system. So they're gonna work with me one-on-one over the phone to figure out all the past due things that we have to still take care of, which includes your past due things that we need. So we're gonna be taking care of those things, and I hope that it goes by fast and get it done. Yes?
Do we go back to the same years of service we had, or do they start fresh?
No.
No, we pick it up.
Just as if
We
had
go right
never
back when we
signed the
stopped it.
paper.
Start and bring it back up.
So it stays the same?
You didn't lose any time.
Yeah, you just pay up the time that we didn't
Yes,
pay.
yes, we're going to do that. Okay? So it's like it never happened for a while, but we stopped paying for a while.
That's what I wondered, if it was starting
No,
like
no.
it was, or does it
No.
start fresh?
No,
No.
it'll be just as if we had never
No.
stopped.
We're hoping that we're getting enough in that we can handle that. Probably not taking on much more for a long time, but we can at least get that back. And so
We need
we're happy
to
with that.
set back how we were paying in, or we
You
just take that
can,
up like it was?
it'll be like it was unless you tell me different.
Okay.
But the same percent that you were putting,
Yeah.
everything will stay the same unless
I didn't know if we had
you
to
were to.
stipulate that when we go back into it, or you can just leave
At
it
this
like it
point,
was?
we're just gonna go back into it.
Okay.
I don't know what will happen with, how we used to take out the voluntary portion, since we hadn't taken that out since September. I don't know how that will work as far as getting that back, the voluntary portion back in. I don't know, I don't have those answers yet. We haven't even got close to that part yet, so.
Well, if you just have to skip that up to this point, the voluntary portion, you just have to
That's
skip
what
that.
I, yeah, that's kind of what I figure, but I don't know what.
I don't know about the union money, but I don't have a problem with that part of it.
Okay. Good. Okay, I'm done with what I.
But we're happy with that. Okay, do we have any, new business?
Any more business, yeah.
Any more business? Anybody here got anything you want to talk about? Anybody? Okay, we have some business we need to talk about.
Hey, Mike, you got
I've turned over a copy of some information here to the other two board members and told them to read it over and tell me what they think about it, what we should do about it, recommendations based on the information I have here. There's several things involved in this. There's a police department report. There's statements have been made, things that have been done that probably shouldn't have been done. Apologies have been made. Things are trying to make things right. But people who work for this town, my opinion, should never, ever, not only should they not try to intimidate any member who works for this town or any other person, in any manner. You gotta bite your tongue. You can talk, you can discuss, you can be mad, but you cannot do that. You cross the line. Also, some words were put out that weren't between one person and another. They were put out to the public that should not have been there. Agreeably. That was discussed, apologies were made, but the fact remains that thousands of people could see it. That disturbs me. Yes, it's a spur of the moment thing, but even then, I think that one should control himself before he makes those things. Count to 10, do whatever you got to do. walk away, come back another day and talk about it. Just the same with meetings sitting in here. Even though you may disagree, you may argue, but you don't threaten. That's inexcusable. Those things can happen, and I don't have an issue with that. Heck, I've had a lot of them, and we've settled them right the way it should be, by communicating with each other. Even though we still disagree, we've still communicated, and that's what we want to be done. With that said, I feel there's going to have to be certain penalties have to be held over what's been put out. That's my opinion. Whether they're long-term or short-term basis, that'll be up for the board to decide here. I have my opinions on it. We'll ask them their opinions of what's been read, what they've read in this report, make recommendations. My recommendation, based on the information I have, they have the same information here, is that, first of all, since these things were done and made public, and not between me and them, but the whole board was involved in it, even though they weren't a party to it at the time, so they have a right to make a voice in this, that at least the man, the individual who made these statements and those things should be dismissed from working for this town. Now, that means that we pay his wages. So he does work for the town in a small capacity. It's not small, it's a big capacity, but it's not a permanent job. Okay, he works when on call. So my recommendation to the board is that he be dismissed from working for the town, which includes the fire department and whatever other capacity he has with the town. Now, that doesn't mean he can't reapply in the future, but it does for right now. He should be dismissed. Now, in the future, when things settle down and things are right, he can reapply, and I probably won't have an issue, but right now I do. That's my opinion. Now, that being said, what are your opinions on what you've seen here?
Well, I agree that everything said here was inappropriate, and uncalled for. Can't be tolerated. I also have to look at this from a Christian's perspective.
Sure.
Does everybody know who we're talking about?
No, probably not. I should have mentioned the name, but I thought everybody probably did know it.
My thoughts on this, Joe came to me and apologized. I understand he apologized to each of you.
Yes, he did. I admit, you bet. We talked about it.
I believe he was sincere. Like I said, it can't be tolerated, regardless of who it is. I don't care whether it's a town employee or whether it's a town citizen. I, for one, will not tolerate somebody coming to my house or on the phone making threats. I won't do that. In the hopes that we can salvage some bit of training that we have invested in Mr. King, I would be in favor of a suspension for some amount of time. I'll throw in 90-day suspension. We'll put it at that. And put it this way to you, very bluntly, if you keep your nose clean, things go in the right direction, then I don't see why that wouldn't suffice as punishment. for what was said. I understand, I've been in that situation before myself, where we fly off the handle. And you're supposed to count to 10 or something and do something. You're not supposed to do that. But I understand. That's my feeling. And I understand Neil's side of it because he was the point of contact. So he was the one in the hot seat. And I understand, if I was in his position, if the phone call had been made to me, maybe I would. But like I said, I'm trying to look at this in a perspective, in a charitable perspective. And my thoughts would be 90-day suspension. And if everything goes well, that'll be the end of it.
My turn. Well, I also looked it over, and I'm like Larry. I mean, most of you people know me. I'm not perfect by no means, but I do consider myself a Christian man. I fall way short of God's glory, but what's done was done, and my personal opinion is he apologized to me outside for what he put on Facebook about the town board, and I accepted his apology, but in my opinion, somebody that's got a temper like that has no business working on the fire department or working as an EMT. Who's to say that he wouldn't lose his temper when he's making a call? That's my opinion. My recommendation would be to dismiss it.
Well, that being said, we have a suspension. We have two that would probably dismiss him with a recommendation in the future that if things stay clean for 6 months, that no further things happen.
I could amend that.
He could reapply
Yeah.
and allow us to look at it again. He has a lot of training, keep his things in check. I wouldn't oppose it then. But I think suspension, yes, but I think the other out to me, I'd rather have him reapply at a distant future. This is a serious thing to do. I don't do it lightly. I'm telling you, I hate doing things like this, but I think that if we'd have kept it in-house and it hadn't gone out on the internet, that I could abided by it. But since it's went everywhere in the United States, I have a little different perspective of it. And we would.
I'll make this easy on you.
Yeah.
I resign. That's easy enough. You guys don't even have to vote on it. I resign.
Okay.
My
Now,
position as the fire department. Well,
that doesn't mean you can't reapply again,
That's
Joe.
okay. I
I
resign.
want you to
tonight.
consider it later on.
That way there, you guys don't have to make a decision.
Yeah. That being said, who do you resign to? Us? He made it, and do you have to make it in writing here? How's that work with your fire department?
I usually just accept it in.
Huh?
I usually just accept verbal regulations.
Okay, you accept that from that area? Then that's good enough for me. And we'll let it end here. No further business or action has to be taken against this. And let it in there. So, is there any other business we need to talk about? Anybody? Yes?
Have you guys decided on a date to meet with us?
Huh?
Have you guys decided on a date?
I haven't had a thing. I thought I'd wait till tonight because we just talked about it the other day. And so whenever you want to set up a meeting, now's the time to ask and we can look at a calendar and get with
It's a
you.
good day for you guys sometime during the evening.
Sometime during the
I just need to
evening.
get-
Now, what do you want to talk about so they're aware of it?
We're looking into forming a fire protection territory, like Thunderbird did.
Yeah,
And what we're wanting to do is Jefferson Township Fire Department's kind of going down,
yeah,
and we're wanting to merge with them.
Uh-huh.
What it would be, it'd be Jefferson Township, Cass Township, and the Duggar would form one big fire department.
uh-huh.
And,
What was the time you'd like to meet with the three of us?
just whenever's good, probably about
Okay.
6 or 7 o'clock one night at the firehouse. Two township
What,
trustees.
have you got a calendar with you? I ain't got one with me here. You got one with me for,
Yeah, they got one, yeah.
There's a little one.
yeah, a little one will do. Let's have a look at it and see what we can do here. Oh, you're the man.
November.
Figure it out. Get rid of that. That's the 12.
Yeah, well, yeah.
There you go.
Here we are, this is
You,
it.
town board president, make a decision here.
Can't do it tomorrow night.
Well,
I don't care.
the
Wednesday,
10th, I've
Thursday.
gotta be at Indianapolis. The 12th, I gotta be up at Indianapolis again. So let's do it right in through here this week.
Let's do it on the 14th, next Monday,
14th, Monday night, the 14th,
at the firehouse.
at the
Or
firehouse.
at town hall, either one.
What would you like, firehouse?
Firehouse.
What time?
6 o'clock will be fine.
6 o'clock on the 14th?
At the firehouse.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Okay, for this month.
Of January meeting. Okay. We'll have a meeting with you and see what you got. Okay? Now, I hate that you lost in the end somebody, an employee with you. I don't know where you're going from there. You're talking about a merge is what you're talking about right now?
Yeah.
And how many people you think that will involve altogether? Just,
Well, the people we would pick up from Jefferson is already on our departments.
okay,
We wouldn't be gaining anybody.
okay. All right.
Let me make something clear. You
Sure.
said you pay my wages. The $100 that you pay and the $100 that the township pays,
Yeah,
that is actually, according to the state of Indiana, the law for clothing allowance. It's not a wage. I want to make that clear. Second, what I posted on Facebook, I told all three of you
oh,
that I was extremely aggravated when I did it. But when I did it, I also knew that it was freedom of speech when I did it. I have since fixed that and amended it to make sure that the whole world knows that I was extremely irritated at something that night. And that I'm sorry. I want that made clear.
yes, he has. I've not seen it, but I've heard he's done it. I don't have a doubt that he hasn't. And it's like I would recommend it here that in a period of time he could reapply. And I would not have if everything stays clean, I wouldn't have an issue with it. You know, I would not. But there's got to be a period of time and a period of adjustment here. That things like this don't happen. And it's a reminder to everybody that works here that there's a place and time for everything. And we should respect it. Even if we get angry, we should respect it. And I hope that's the case in the future. You know, if I have something to say to Lonnie or anybody else, I go meet with them. I don't do those things. So let's hope. Let's hope that we can continue that way in the future. You know, we all make mistakes. I've made my share. Try to make amends for them, and then we can deal with it in the future. So hopefully it'll come that way. So with that, I have nothing further. If anybody else does, why, we'll proceed to close. If nobody else says anything else.
Motion be made to close the meeting.
Oh yeah.